Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Two teams yearning to scratch an 18-year itch get two bites at inching one step closer to the ultimate title. It's Punjab Kings versus RCB in Qualifier 1 of IPL 2025. Let's set the stage for the contest on Nexa Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout in the company of Tom Moody and Abhinav Mukund. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Big stage is here. Two teams who have the highest of dreams, two teams who've had such statement wins just before the playoffs. Feels like the perfect contest, Tom.
It certainly is. And to be fair, probably the two best teams consistently over this year's IPL find themselves in the right positions at 1 and 2, even though every team sort of had their struggles to attempt to get into those preferred slots at 1 and 2. Both in form. We're in for an absolute cracking match.
Does that added chance, Abhi, mean more to two teams who are not used to going the distance?
Yeah, I think Punjab Kings are sort of rejuvenated under this new duo of Shreyas and Ponting. Ponting's a serial winner while he played and took MI to the title and DC to the playoffs. Didn't have a last couple of good years with Delhi, but Shreyas Iyer has been exceptional as captain, and he deserves all the praise for taking Punjab to number 1. RCB again, I think the biggest contention would have been, okay, we've qualified, but we need to qualify top 2. I think GT's loss is RCB's gain. Yeah. Because if GT had won both, then maybe RCB wouldn't have qualified. But I feel RCB have done really well to get there, and both very, very deserving.
Yeah, it is the first time since 2016 that RCB have managed to finish in the top 2. This is a game in Mulanpur, home venue for Punjab Kings. Not officially a home game, of course, Tom. Aren't they glad it's not last year when they couldn't find a way to win in Mulanpur? 2 wins, 2 losses. One of those losses to RCB. Is there any home advantage?
I don't think so at all. Apart from maybe the crowds might be slightly skewed towards Punjab, but looking at the game so far at this venue, it's been pretty inconsistent. So it's going to be very interesting to see what surface we get and how quickly each team adapts accordingly, because that's going to be the key to it.
Yeah, because it was quite a range that we saw. We saw 200 versus 200 when Punjab met Chennai, and yet we also saw 111 defended when Punjab had that game against KKR.
I'm actually happy that it's not a home game for Punjab, because then, see, with all this talk of neutral curator and everything, I feel they're very unsure about Mulanpur. New Chandigarh is basically a venue where you don't know what sort of pitches you expect, and you've got a 111 and you've got a 219 in the same venue. So there is a very big difference between the kind of scores that you see in New Chandigarh. So I really hope it is a surface that is true and plays good cricket.
All right, let's look at the two teams. And these two teams have lost fewer players than the other two who are part of the playoffs. Punjab, Marco Jansen, the only player who they cannot call on anymore. It was interesting that Ricky Ponting said that it was always the plan to play Kyle Jamieson after the last game. So do you expect that to continue? Bartlett, of course, being the other option.
Yeah, I don't see that changing, particularly given he's made that comment. And it makes perfect sense, you know, to give him a decent run before the all-important final. So I was surprised, I must admit, that Jamieson got in ahead of Bartlett, given Bartlett's been part of the whole team set up throughout the whole campaign and already played a few games. But, you know, Ricky Ponting and the gang there know exactly what's happening within that squad better than what we do.
He also confirmed what will be a huge sigh of relief for Punjab Kings fans, that Yuzvendra Chahal should be good to go. So, Chahal for Jansen, do you see that as the likeliest change?
I think so. I think they'll end up playing both the spinners, because last year I think that was one venue which surprised us all in terms of the degree of turn, where New Chandigarh or Mulanpur had a lot of assistance for spinners. And even Punjab Kings up against KKR, that game was the game where Chahal did his magic and they ended up winning, defending that low score. So he'll be huge, especially in the context, and there's also this little element of him having played for RCB.
Yes, only adds to the sense of the occasion. Vijay Kumar got a game and impressed barring the last over. You're happy with him to continue? Punjab's 5th bowler looks stronger?
Yeah, I don't think they'll make any changes, to be honest with you. I think that, you know, what they have done well is have kept the unit close together. And quite often you see in IPL seasons, the teams that end up on the top of the table or the top four generally have the least amount of turnover of players. And I think that creates a nice stable environment for everyone to thrive.
All right, let's look at RCB. They do have Josh Hazelwood, who's linked up with the squad, but didn't feature in that last league game. That in turn meant Nuwan Tushara played, 1 for 26 in a game of 12 per over. They have conceded 230 and 227 in the last two games. Is there a temptation to try and fit both Tushara and Hazelwood?
I think it'd be definitely a discussion, without a doubt. Tushara was brilliant in that last game, and obviously we know what Hazelwood's done and what his record stands for. So, you can guarantee he's coming into the side. It's whether they opt for both those overseas players and maybe look at either Romario Shepherd sitting out and playing another Indian top order, not top order, but another Indian batter, or Suresh, maybe one that steps aside.
There's also Liam Livingston, who got a game after a while and had a first bowler. Which way do you go with the combination?
I don't know, it's a tough one, right? Because you've got to understand who gives you that extra option. So, in case of Livingston, what happens is if you're playing both Tushara and Hazelwood, then maybe Livingston is your spin option and you can toy with the idea of having that impact sub. Then Romario Shepherd sits out, unfortunately, then. So, have you got enough trust or faith in your players of another Indian backup to come in as a pure batter at 5 or 6? That's the question, RC. It's a tough call.
In the absence of Tim David, is it a little more important for RCB to have the cover of Romario Shepherd, even given what Jitesh Sharma has achieved in the last game?
That'll be very much in the front of their mind. It's very hard to judge Livingston on one ball. We all know what he's capable of doing, and he hasn't quite caught fire this season, but he's played a lot of international cricket, he's played a lot of big games, so there's no reason why he wouldn't step up in a final.
All right, let's tuck into contests and players who could define this. Tom, any matchup or a particular player who you think could be the deciding factor here?
Well, I quite like, and I'm looking forward to the Arshdeep Singh matchup against Phil Salt. I think that's going to be intriguing because to this point, Arshdeep's got his measure well and truly. He's got him out 4 times for just a total of 25 runs. So that is quite a significant difference.
Yeah, and a lot of that is very recent. Some of those dismissals in the India-England series and one earlier this season. Abhi, which way are you looking?
I'm going the other way. I'm going Josh Hazelwood if he plays, and I think he will, up against Shreyas Iyer. 5 innings, 3 outs as I see on this wonderful sheet.
For just 9 runs.
9 runs, 5 innings, 3 wickets. I think he got him in the World Cup game as well, if I remember right.
He did?
At Chepauk, India, Australia.
The first one, yes, of course. The one India remember. Yes, he did. All right, predictions. Punjab or RCB? Who goes through to the final?
I've got RCB's nose just in front.
And I'm going with Punjab.
All right, balance as there should be. Promises to be a cracker either which way. Thank you so much, Tom Abhinav, for setting the stage up for us. Punjab versus RCB. Qualifier 1, our build-up starts just before toss time. Be sure to join us then on Nexa Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout.
Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Nexa.